A young woman was dealing with a terrifying haunting in her recent residence that she and her spouse had relocated to with their infant. She informed the priest about supernatural disturbances that were frightening her quite badly on a regular basis, so the priest decided to visit her residence, and his arrival was recorded on her surveillance system.
Thank you so much, Father.
Yeah, I feel a little presence here.
You do?
I do, as I walked in the door.
Oh.
So I'm going to bless your home now.
Okay.
And hopefully release some of the things going on.
Okay, thank you.
Lord, send down your mercy and your blessing upon us here and upon this house. Keep all who live here safe from evil. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Okay, we're going to bless your home now, and we'll see how, how this helps you. Okay. Oh my goodness. What's going on?
Father, I'm so sorry. I really didn't think any of this was going to happen. Father, what should I do?
I feel a presence.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ready for this. I think I need to come back later.
Okay, all right.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Father.
I'm sorry, but I'm not prepared.
Okay.
I have to do something.
Yeah, I know. I need help.
I'll be back to help you.
Okay.
So I might need some stuff.
Okay, I'm so sorry, Father. Oh my God.
Well, you try to have the same day. Okay. You can call me if you need me. Okay.
I will. I'm sorry, Father. Oh my God.
It would seem that the priest wasn't able to provide much assistance, and that the dark entity inhabiting this dwelling is still remaining. A man just took on a night officer position at a shutdown industrial building during the graveyard shift, and ever since then, he's convinced something dark followed him back after work. The house they live in goes back to the late 1950s. Sure, it's got charm and plenty of room, but he will tell you the property has a dark past. Someone who lived there before died in the upstairs bedroom where they now sleep. On top of that, they dug up 2 bodies in the backyard that were never identified, and no one knows how they died. Both he and his wife have seen weird stuff they can't explain, and they're pretty sure something's haunting the place.
He has no shot collar, no shot collar at all. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and take this off just so you'll know that there's nothing there. Come on, bud. Hey, it's okay. It's okay, buddy. Tail down. I posted it. See, me and him both heard that. And see, now he's gonna fucking run and leave me up here like a douchebag. See? Straight up.
According to him, it's not just the backstory that's weird. The whole layout is off. There's this door upstairs that doesn't make any sense. It's just sitting there, with nothing leading to it. No stairs, nothing. In a clip where he's showing people where this mystery door is, he ends up recording something really messed up.
You can kind of see just how high up that door actually is if you're on the bottom floor. Yeah, you're looking at 10 plus 8, so you're looking at least 18 feet from your feet coming down. Why the
You can spot this dark silhouette moving around, and there are 2 different voices that seem to be talking to him.
If you're on the bottom floor, bottom floor, bottom floor. Why the
He doesn't even realize what's on the recording at first, and just casually mentions that behind the door is some storage area in the attic. One night, when he gets home from his shift, weird noises starts happening all over the house. He grabs his phone to film and starts looking around, and what he finds absolutely terrifies him. These glowing eyes spread really far apart, just materialize out of the black, staying locked onto him while he stands there frozen. Then whatever it is just fades away into nothing. But the activity doesn't stop there. He's even catching paranormal stuff happening in broad daylight now. A crash makes him turn around fast, and he films this whitish transparent figure. With all these clips he's posted that are genuinely disturbing, his viewers can't agree on anything. Some think he's being honest. Others are convinced it's just another fake paranormal stunt. Did starting this new job at the factory somehow wake something up? Or was this evil presence waiting in his house the whole time?
Sí me da miedo, pero tengo que venirles a lavar a mis viejitos.
Sarah works overnight security shifts with additional cleaning duties. One place she regularly handles is a senior living facility, and according to her, the activity never stops. The second she enters to begin washing clothes, the atmosphere turns thick and strange sounds start up.
Los ruidos y se siente pesado el ambiente. ¿Qué será eso?
In her initial footage, she records from the washing area, mentioning that numerous elderly people have passed in that location, and relatives often remain close by, waiting for the deceased to be removed.
Para que escuchen, oigan.
While she's talking, you can hear gentle tapping coming from somewhere along the hallway.
Estoy sola, estoy sentada. ¿Escucharon? Sal, no hay nadie. Demasiado triste. Aquí es donde a veces están esperando a recoger los cuerpos. Oigan, ¿escucharon?
Then at 2:22, something very unsettling occurs.
Se escuchó algo. Oigan. Se está escuchando el piano. Y no hay nadie en el piano. No mames. No hay nadie y lo estoy escuchando. Es increíble. No.
The piano appears to start playing without anyone touching it.
Y no hay nadie en el piano. No mames. No hay nadie y lo estoy escuchando. Es increíble. No.
A follow-up recording begins similarly.
¿Muchos ruidos? Oigan.
There's a subtle groan or murmur beneath the background sounds.
Se escucha como que gritaran, como si hablaran. No es nadie. Se escucha que grita.
She stops moving, trying to hear better.
Que grita. Creo que es de acá. Oiga, hay veces que se oyen las sillas de ruedas que caminan, que hablan.
As if the sounds weren't disturbing enough already, a few minutes after that, this occurs.
¡Ay, no! ¿Qué es eso? ¡Ay, no! Ahora sí, mire cómo...
Her supply cart shifts forward several inches without being touched.
¿Qué es eso? ¡Ay, no! Ahora sí, mire cómo...
You might assume the paranormal events are connected to the senior facility, but her next post hints at something more puzzling. At a customer's personal residence, the recordings pick up what resembles someone walking up the staircase, despite the home being vacant. she also captured something similarly creepy at another job site. Something unnatural gets filmed at the staircase landing.
El cuarto del muchacho para que ustedes lo vean. Nosotros sí escuchamos a veces cómo suben, pero no vemos a nadie.
You can make out a dim shadowy figure behind the railing.
Para que ustedes lo vean. Nosotros sí escuchamos a veces cómo suben, pero no vemos a nadie.
Yet the residence is totally unoccupied. Nobody is here.
Y es que él falleció hace algunos meses. ¿Qué es eso?
She explains the homeowner lost her son several months back. The woman frequently wonders if she has been noticing anything unusual. That be fabric moving on the windows, the steps making noise, or entryways that occasionally close forcefully. She maintains his space exactly as he had it when he was alive.
Tocamos nada de limpieza.
So, what's the explanation of her constantly running into these bizarre occurrences? Is it the locations themselves? Spaces filled with grief and death? Or is she somehow drawing the supernatural activity toward herself?
¡Ay, no! ¿Qué es eso? ¡Ay, no!
WA police officers have a mystery on their hands this Halloween. They have released this vision of a ghostly figure.
Law enforcement in Western Australia released strange security camera recordings from a storage facility in Bellevue following the unexplained disappearance of equipment and various objects.
Multiple tools stolen from the property. The suspect.
The clip shows a mysterious shape wrapped in a blue tarp.
Ghostly figure skulking around a Bellevue warehouse covered in a blue tarp. Lucky for this intruder.
The would-be thief can be spotted taking items before fading away into the darkness.
Public cells with multiple tools.
It is unknown if we are looking at a paranormal event here or what exactly had happened. Was it just a person under a tarp, or did something paranormal unfold?
Police now calling on the public cells with multiple tools stolen from the property. The suspect vanishing into thin air.
This security officer was on duty during his overnight patrol when he witnessed the following. A man named Javier Biones takes overnight shifts as a road safety guard positioned at a checkpoint located in Uruguay. He mentions that over recent days, he's been hearing someone tapping at the checkpoint entrance. But whenever he walks around the perimeter, nobody's ever there. During another late evening on his night shift, Javier goes live to talk about what's been happening, when he hears the tapping once more, and this time he captures it. As he moves the camera across both sides of the glass, the shape of an unsettling pale woman can be spotted, gradually turning her head and staring at him. Could this be the ghost of someone who previously died on the roadway? This security footage stems from a shop owner's surveillance system, recorded frightening footage in Yensana. The shopkeeper was operating his business at 2 in the morning, while playing religious recitations, when an eerie pale woman dressed in dark clothing walks into his establishment, declaring herself to be an angel. She tells him not to be afraid, that she's an angel, but the shopkeeper describes her feet as resembling the hoofs of a horse. It's obvious the man was absolutely scared by the appearance of this person, or being. He suspects it might have been a jinn. A woman employed as the security supervisor at a hotel situated in Huitic, Mexico, has received reports from numerous other employees that bizarre supernatural occurrences have been taking place inside the establishment. One afternoon, a coworker mentions they spotted someone in room 30, but the supervisor insists that can't be right since she emptied that room earlier that morning and personally went to air it out herself. However, later during the day, while walking past, she observes something disturbing through the glass of that specific room.
Irma me dijo que se veía una persona en la habitación 30 y le dije no, y me dice, ¿está ocupada? Le digo no, se desocupó en la mañana y no hay nadie. Yo misma fui a ventilar esa habitación y ahorita que voy pasando por acá me doy cuenta que sí es cierto, se ve como que si alguien se estuviera asomando en la ventana. Vamos a ver qué es lo que pasa, vamos a ver qué hay ahí, pero se supone que no hay nada y sigue ahí viéndose.
What appears to be a figure is standing near the glass, but nobody should be in there. So she chooses to approach the room and get a better view.
Aquí más cerquita. Sí, miren, ahí se alcanza a ver una cara, unos ojos. Vamos a ver a esa habitación. Estamos subiendo las escaleras porque desde ahí es donde estábamos viendo que se veía. Aquí ya no se ve nada, a lo mejor por el reflejo de la luz. Y vamos a ver en la habitación. Aquí está la cama, porque esta es una habitación pequeña. Aquí pues no se ve nada. Y aquí está la tele, donde estábamos, donde se supone que se veía, pero no se ve nada. No entiendo por qué se ve. ¡Ah! ¡Ay!
As she moves nearer, an unsettling, pale grayish face becomes visible through the glass, and its eyes, nose, and mouth are clearly distinguishable. Not only that, but when she steps inside the room, you can observe there's absolutely nothing present, so it's clearly not a trick of light, especially with the abrupt loud noise that frightened her out of the room. Maybe something devastating occurred in this room years ago, but without any additional footage, this will stay unexplained. During her overnight shift, a security worker filmed something that left her shaken. She handles maintenance duties at a business complex, usually working through empty floors after everyone's gone home. Within weeks of taking this job, multiple staff members warned her about weird things happening when you're up there by yourself. Everyone's picked up on bizarre noises and whispers echoing through the halls. She brushed it off at first, but then she started catching those same whispers here and there. Plus, this creeping feeling like someone was watching her every move. After one of these whispers spooked her, she propped up her phone to film while scrubbing down the washroom. The footage she got absolutely freaked her out. There's this disturbing pale face, visible behind the entry, peering around from the side. But things got way worse. Days later, she's filming again to show a coworker where this face appeared and walk them through what went down. And during that recording, this happened.
Okay, so I'm doing the trash. This is the same room that had that face right here. And I was cleaning this bathroom and I had my phone on this cart. Right? I just heard
She's gesturing toward where she'd seen this thing through the doorway while she'd been in the washroom, and out of nowhere, you hear what sounds like a female whisper going, "Hello." She spins around looking everywhere, but the space is totally empty. By now, she's genuinely freaked out and just bolts from the building. The big question's still hanging. Who or what is lurking there? And could it be the source of all those whispers? During the early morning hours, a woman named Brandy was sleeping soundly next to her spouse when their surveillance system picked up something strange at 2:45 a.m. An abrupt, brilliant burst of light appears, getting the doc's attention right before the entryway shifts open a bit, and what appears to be an unsettling pale face that looks out from behind the entryway before retreating back out of sight. Then a dark silhouette, shaped like a young child, appears standing in the corridor briefly before fading into the shadows. Once more, the pale face reveals itself behind the entryway, right before the last burst of light. Brandy can't make sense of the odd series of occurrences she's observed in the recording, but mentions this marks her first supernatural encounter ever. This footage was captured by CCTV at a police station. It shows an off-duty police officer locking a door when a transparent shadow figure is walking through the frame in the back. No other officer was in the hallway at that time, so it makes people believe that this could have been a shadow figure, perhaps. Pretty strange. Employees at North Carolina's Lincoln County Courthouse were convinced something paranormal was lurking at their workplace. Over many years, people reported hearing odd sounds and claiming to see spirits, though nothing concrete ever surfaced.
I believe all along that there's ghosts in this courthouse. I've heard footsteps, I've heard noises that I couldn't explain.
During the late hours, security personnel noticed something odd on their monitors, showing one of the courtroom spaces. The figure appeared to be a female scribbling on paper. The guards felt so certain an intruder had gotten inside that they sent a full security response to check it out. Some thought the female might just be light bouncing off something, until local reporters chose to dig deeper into the story.
The image appears to be in a glass shield in the cashier's office. Some doubters who saw it wouldn't go on camera but told us it's just an illusion. We entertained the thought that it could be a reflection, much like the reflection that you're seeing of me right now in that same area where we spotted the mysterious woman. We searched the office and found nothing that would create this image.
So what is this really? A spirit captured on film? Or simply an unusual optical trick? Nobody knows for sure. The inexplicable unfolded when a man began hearing weird noises coming from beneath his house. Banging, footsteps, and the unmistakable sound of something moving in the dark. Perhaps a wild animal that had snuck through a crack. He chose to set up a camera to figure out what was really happening down there. What his camera recorded still gives him nightmares to this day. The movement is slow, almost floating, as if that presence didn't follow normal rules of the human body. The following morning, the man went down determined to check every corner of the cellar, but he discovered absolutely nothing. No signs that anyone had been there, no footprints, no objects out of place, just silence and the echo of what his camera had recorded the previous night. Some might think it was a burglar or even a homeless person who sought shelter during the night. But if that were the case, there's nothing more disturbing than knowing that some stranger was inside your house. The manner in which it seems to emerge from emptiness has made many think that it could be something far more unsettling. What do you think? The following footage corresponds to a disturbing recording filmed on an Argentinian highway, footage that has sent chills through those who've watched it. It was during the early morning hours when an officer chose to record, captured part of his drive along route. A road that, according to locals, carries a dark reputation. However, he never expected what his camera was about to capture. At first glance, they're hard to spot, but if you look carefully, you'll clearly make out two human silhouettes at the roadside. Dark shadows, somewhat translucent, that seem to completely ignore the vehicle's presence. There are no streetlights, no people, no element that could project something like that, and yet there they are. Those who've seen this footage claim that on this very stretch of road, strange and unexplainable situations have occurred. Drivers who say they've seen figures in the middle of the road, sudden radio interference, lights that go out for no apparent reason, and even vehicles that experience electrical failures right when passing through this spot. The most skeptical say it's all due to the poor lighting of the area, and that people are simply getting worked up after watching the video. But others insist there's nothing coincidental about any of this. In fact, some nearby residents maintain that years back, human remains would have been found in the surrounding area, possibly victims of accidents, or even something more sinister. An overnight security worker named Zach is employed at a Mexican corner shop. He frequently ends up handling solo shifts during the late hours. Various staff members often mention hearing murmurs when they're by themselves at night, and some have even witnessed objects shifting on their own. Evidently, a holdup occurred inside the shop several years back, which resulted in a tragic outcome, as one of the staff members died during the incident. One evening, while Zach is handling his shift alone, he chooses to film his nightly routine to share with his friends and relatives, but ends up recording something unsettling instead. A dark shape can be spotted moving through the row just past the shelving unit within the shop, as if someone or something managed to get inside, but when he goes to inspect every row, there's absolutely nothing there. Considering he handles the overnight shift and the shop is well beyond business hours, it would be secured for customers so they can't simply enter. So exactly who or what is this? Could it be the staff member who died, returning to linger in the shop? You decide. This footage originates from the Japanese Channel 4th wall. In the clip, a security surveillance officer enters a dwelling situated on the town's edges, somewhere in Japan. The dwelling has allegedly been deserted for half a century, with the previous occupants being a household of 5, a father in his 70s and 4 sons in their 40s. The dwelling sits on a land currently owned by a woman named Ray. Because of the remote location, details about the property are scarce, but nearby residents mention that all 5 members of this specific household were all declared deceased simultaneously. The cameraman chooses to venture inside by himself and capture some footage. What he records is undeniably disturbing. One of the partition doors can be spotted shaking and shifting on its own, but when he approaches it to investigate, he discovers nothing is present. At this stage, the cameraman is quite unsettled and wants to exit, but he chooses to continue through the dwelling and complete his recording, and that's when he witnesses something eerie. A shadowy shape can be spotted moving behind the glass panel, and then a door glides closed entirely by itself, and when he spins back around, the shape has vanished completely. Now, roughly 3 months afterward, in mid-September of 2023, a different cameraman arrives to examine the property, and he also has an unnerving experience. He too captures a dark shadowy shape lurking behind one of the entryways, but when he goes to pull it open and search the space, he discovers nothing is there. The sighting resembles what the other cameraman recorded behind the glass panel. He then chooses to position some infrared cameras throughout the dwelling while he stays overnight, and after some time, one of them records something disturbing. An eerie shape can be spotted, gradually moving past the window panels in one of the spaces, and then, moments later, an entryway opens by itself. The paranormal activity appears to increase when somebody is near the dwelling. And supposedly, nobody ever witnessed the father's 4 sons ever exiting the dwelling, which is odd for 4 men in their 40s to never venture outside, causing the cameraman to suspect these spirits are anticipating visitors. But who can say? Now we are taking a look at a video that was initially captured by a man on a bicycle, and he was on his way to buy some groceries. It was early evening and he was riding along a busy city road. After a short while, it becomes apparent that an accident must have taken place. Naturally, the man was curious and looking around a bit when passing by the scene. As it turned out later, a fatal collision had taken place. And as sad as this is, it is believed that the spirit might have still been at the scene after the incident. Let's take a look. The man recording checked the footage at home and had to realize that an eerie-looking pale figure in a white dress can be seen, standing in the middle of the road. And what's even more, they seem to be missing their head. For the man, there was no doubt that this scary-looking thing was a headless ghost, but he is uncertain if it was indeed the spirit that could have been related to the crash. Whatever the answer, it's pretty creepy though, isn't it? This video has been uploaded by Quemahoning Paranormal Group. They believe that the uploader might have come face to face with the Lantern Man that night. The Lantern Man of the Quemahoning Dam is an entity that is said to lurk in and around the reservoir. He is most often encountered as a distant, out-of-place red light, where there should be no logical reason to be one. The man who filmed this clip claims to have been driving home from a fishing trip on a remote stretch of road that runs through the thick forest surrounding the Quemahoning Reservoir. We certainly can see an eerie-looking figure in some form of black clothing. Some say he almost looks skeletal, and that it might be the spirit of someone who drowned within the dam a long time ago. Could this really be his spirit? What a terrifying thought, coming across a sinister-looking apparition like this in the middle of nowhere. All on your own. How nightmarish. The following comes from a submission by Shadowstar, who explains that a relative was filming a peaceful family gathering when something disturbing appeared in the second-floor window of the residence, which was unoccupied during the recording. He believes it looks like his late sister, who had died tragically several years earlier near the family residence. He was genuinely shocked and discovered nobody upstairs after inspecting the residence. However, beside her appears an odd headless figure, which disturbed them even further. They're completely unsure what this was or why it occurred. If this wasn't a prank or carefully set up video, this could be quite mysterious.